Hey everybody, today we're going to be going over the Pacific 2004 TNA trading card set. This set is special to me. I remember when it came out and it was a really big deal, at least in the Nashville area of card collectors, because this is based off the shows that they were playing live in Nashville. So it's a really cool set. I'm glad I got my hands on it. So here are, let's see, the knockouts before there were knockouts. These girls were mostly dancers in the cages. If you haven't seen the original TNA years, at least the first couple of years, it's a crazy show. Christopher Daniels, he's always been one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. There's another Fatu. He goes by ECMO Fatu, but he was in WWE for a little while, part of a tag team, I think, with his brother. It's a really cool set to look at. See who stayed in it for a long time. Simon Diamond, I think he still is in a backstage role. Sanjay Dutt is a producer with AEW. Shane Douglas has a podcast. I don't know about Julio De Niro. Glenn Gabbardi's got a podcast. Juventud Guerrero is on a podcast with Glenn Gabbardi a lot. So a lot of these people have done stuff. Christopher Daniels, he's a bigwig at AEW. Delirious. I don't know much about him. That's wild. All these people, I know what they're doing. There's BG James, Jeff Jarrett. This is my favorite wrestling promotion. When this came out, I guess I was about 20 years old. But I lived in a Nashville area, so I got to see it live, and it was wild. If you never got to go to the Asylum shows, man, you don't know what you was missing. Dusty Rhodes came in. I've seen like a lot of major stars come through. CM Punk was there. That's when he was younger. Believe it or not, I wasn't that big of a fan of CM Punk when he was with TNA. It wasn't that I wasn't a fan of him. It just, I didn't get to see him enough. I couldn't go to the fairgrounds every single week. I tried, but back then I was living on my own, so I couldn't afford cable, much less pay-per-view. So the only times I got to see the episodes were when I got to go see it live, which I give or take, I'd say I was probably out there at least once a month on average, which is saying a lot because I got to see a lot of these shows because of it. Sharp Boy's awesome. Slash, he's cool. Big fan of the Disciples of Apocalypse. The next big star that never was, Sonny Siaki. Vince Russo. You rewatch the first seasons of this show, and you can tell it's highly influenced by Vince Russo. Storylines were crazy. They couldn't simplify the storylines. He just tried to make them overly complicated. The young James Storm. He's wrestling in a card that's coming up soon. So eventually we're going to get to the parallel set, which is a set that's absolutely identical to this set, but it just has a coloration change. And what's really bad is, for the longest time, I didn't know about the parallel set because I'm colorblind. And the two colors it represents, brown and I think it's red, I can barely tell the difference. Uh-oh, this might be it too. think I could see a little bit. It's just I can barely tell what the coloration changed. Look at Don Callis. Forgot that he was in there at the very first of TNA. So yeah, are we in the parallel set yet? No, we're still in brown. I get. Oh, the first one were red. Yeah, I think we're in the parallel because we're back at Dusty Roads again. Guess we went through there. All right, so that's it. Right. No, that's not the parallel set. Guys, forget everything I said. That's just the first set. Those are cards 1 through 70. And then we have these right here, which is basically Goldilocks, Trinity, and Lollipop. Which finishes out the first set. Now here's a parallel set. I'm sorry I couldn't tell you the difference earlier because they look so similar. We'll run through this kind of quick because, like I said, the only difference between the two sets is a coloration change. I'm not a big fan of the parallel set. I just wish they wouldn't have done it. Especially with my color blindness, it doesn't make it easy to differentiate the two sets. Kid Cash is like one of the best heels of all time. I wanted to highlight this guy. Man, when he's in full heel mode, he is unstoppable. But promoters hate him for that. As a fan, I think he's one of the best. I've never seen a guy get a heat like him. He still wrestles a match every once in a while. I see. I've been to a couple of them when he wrestled locally within the last 5 years. I mean, he didn't take many bumps, nor should he. He's earned his dues. There's Eric Watts. Not much to say about him. He was kind of old school wrestler who got in the game a little too late, in my opinion. I think Eric Watts could have been better. But here's the specialty cards. I'm proud of a lot of these cards because a lot of these people ain't around anymore. And we'll turn it sideways. The first ones I got the AJ Styles and the AJ Styles Parallel, which is awesome. Having both of those. Those are pretty expensive cards. Then I even have the security guy, Chris Vaughn's autograph. He's the only autograph in the set that never really done much. Here's the autographs of. I hope you can see that okay. Let me move it up like this. Sorry about the camera shaking. But it's pretty cool. I got Harley Race, Jeff Jarrett, Roddy Piper. That's really cool to have. The Raven card, Terry Taylor, and Dusty Rhodes. I wish I could have got a better signature on the Dusty Rhodes, but he's kind of notorious for not having the most cleanest signatures. He gets tired and just starts scribbling. And this was a kind of a big set. So then we got the trying to stabilize that. Then we got the knockouts. Before the knockouts, we got their signatures, which is pretty cool. Down at the very bottom corner, got the Cowboy James Storm and the Wildcat Chris Harris. Got a signed card by both of those, which is awesome. This set is kind of hard to come by. It's hard to collect. I don't know how many signatures there were. But yeah, it was cool to have it. So now we start getting on the little subsets. These are tag teams, which is really cool. Showed you they got the naturals. Got the Gathering, which is kind of like Raven's Flock. Glenn Gilberti and let's see, David Young. It's a wild tag team. Of course, you got America's Most Wanted. Here is kind of like the relics. Matte, authentic event used mats with Raven, BG James, D'Lo Brown, America's Most Wanted, and AJ Styles. It's really cool. Yeah. So I think this is a complete set. Let me know if I'm missing any cards, but I think this is everything. I have about 4, maybe 5 base sets of these cards I had to get to make this set when it originally came out. So here's the cool stuff. The sticker set. Everybody loves the tattoos, sorry. Everybody likes the tattoos. You know, I gotta admit, there's been times I wanted to bust one of these out. Tattoo my sister on her forehead while she was asleep. She'll wake up with a Sharp Boy tattoo. I don't know. I think it'll be worth it. Really cool. Got the knockouts, pre-knockouts, I guess. TNA tattoos. And then we got it again, just to say we have it. It's kind of like the match to parallel set. Really cool set, guys. I know this is on a lot of wrestling collectors' want lists. I can understand why it was on my want list for years and years. I started collecting these back in actually 2004, but I only had the base set, so it took me a long time, and it wasn't even a full like base set. Like I said, I was colorblind, so I was kind of putting both the sets together, not knowing that they had a parallel set to go with it. My bad. Back then there wasn't the internet, so I'm just buying these boxes and putting them together as quick as I could, not knowing the difference. I did know the difference. I could tell there was a little coloration change, but you know, I didn't. I just put the sets together, and wasn't until years later when I realized, oops, there's more to it. So finished the set, guys. I hope you like it. I got some more wrestling sets coming. I got a lot of them. But until next time, I'm glad you're live.